I welcome you back to the Debrinick channel. Tonight we are talking about the Colorado River. We will be doing a Colorado River update, and we are going to start off with the weather forecast like we always do. We are currently looking at tropical tidbits here, and you can see there's a low pressure here in Colorado kicking a little bit of snow within the next 6 hours. We continue to scoot. You can still see there's snow going on there. Low pressure over here, low pressure up here. It starts to scoot away, and just a tiny bit of snow left there in Colorado, and we keep on scooting. You can see that kicks down here and maybe a little bit up here in the Flaming Gorge area up that way. You can see that scoots down towards Colorado, a little bit in Utah as well. You could see starting Saturday the 17th, atmospheric river kick into California here. You have a little bit of snow left in Colorado as it starts to scoot away. This high pressure dominates over here in Colorado for a bit, and it continues. As you could see over here in California, they're getting hammered. We'll be doing an update on Lake Oroville and them other areas in the next day or two. You could see this scoots in and it gets real heavy here. We'll see what happens. It starts to fizzle out. There's still a high pressure that's dominating this whole area over here. Starts to weaken a little bit, and there's a little bit of snow here in Colorado. Not much, so they're not going to get much of that. The moisture is going to get squeezed out over towards California from the mountains and whatnot. You can see there's a little bit of snow left here in Colorado as well, and another system hits California right after that. This is on Monday. This is a couple days later, so this is definitely something we're going to have to be watching. And look at this low pressure way out here. It continues to go, and we continue to scoot. We're looking next Tuesday. There's more rain and snow for California. Not a whole lot. There's another high pressure that kicks over Colorado and a low pressure here in the Midwest. You can see that it starts to weaken. That high pressure dissipates. A little bit of snow makes it through to Nevada, which is good news for Lake Mead. You can see that this low pressure finally gets here. It just sits here and pounds. We're already from Saturday to Wednesday fairly wet there. Still raining, and this low pressure actually kicks up and it continues to scoot out a little bit, and then there's more rain for Las Vegas and Nevada in general. Now this part of Nevada is not connected to the Colorado. We'll see what this ultimately happens here. A little bit of snow here in Colorado as well, and a little bit here in Utah, so Arizona as well. A little bit left in California. We continue to watch this go away. Nice little low pressure develops here, kind of gets a little quiet. A little bit of flurry activity in Colorado, not much to speak of, not a massive snowstorm. And then you keep on scooting, and you can see it potentially another low pressure possibly kicking up on the 25th. Now this is a long way out, so we don't need to put too much stock in it. Today's the 15th, so this is 10 days out, and you can see another system kicks into California. This one is not near as intense as the previous one, but like I said, it's very long way out, and possibly some rain up here. Now we'll see what happens if that continues, because they're saying that this area is supposed to be fairly dry, but as you can see here, it's fairly wet, and you can see that this turns into more potential snow and rain for California, and that kicks in. Look at this. This is getting really intense, and it starts to scoot on, and it starts to get really wet here in Colorado. Now this is all hypothetical. It's 17 days from today. We see this low pressure here. You got a ton of precipitation in Utah and a little bit in Colorado, a little bit in Arizona, right there where we want to be. A little bit of snow here as well. So we'll see if this comes to pass. It's still a long way out. We keep on scooting here, snow here, and then we continue to scoot. You can see a little bit lingers here, a little low pressure kicks in. Look at the isobars. These are really, really packed. This is a typical March come in like a lion for the Midwest, it looks like. As we scoot into the first, you can see March is coming in like a lion for most of the country, especially from the East Coast all the way back to Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa. Look at that tight isobars. This is March 1st. They're thinking that it's going to come in. So usually when it comes in like a lion, it goes out like a lamb. We'll see what happens. More snow for California. Nothing for the Colorado at that point in time. And you can see that kicks up. And that is as far as we go all the way to March 2nd. There's what we got going on. Now, this is a long way out, so a lot can change between now and then. So we will watch it intensely and see what ultimately ends up happening. Let's roll out to windy.com next and see what the snow amount's going to be for the next week and into 10 days. Here we are In the Colorado, you could see a little bit in the next 12 hours. We go to the next 24 hours. Not a whole lot coming in as we go into Colorado here. 0.52. We go to the next 3 days. About maybe an inch. We go over to Vail. You could see 0.49. We go to Aspen, 0.4. We go down to Telluride, 0.23. Not much in the next 3. We go to the next 5. And you can see it really doesn't change much. A little bit more up here, about 1.17 inches of rain. We go the next 10 days, and you can see about 1.52. Now you can see California, they're anticipating a whole bunch of rain, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow probably. We go to the GFS and see what the difference is. They're talking, it's a half-inch difference is what they're talking about there. Let's go to the snow accumulation. We'll go back to 12 hours and see what's going on with snow. You can see 2.2 inches in the next 12 hours. We go to the next 24 hours. You can see 2.7, and we scoot in a little bit so we can get a better grasp on what's going on. Glenwood Springs, 2.6. Steamboat Springs, 4 inches. Telluride down here, 1 inch. Aspen, 3.3, so you get the gist. Not a whole lot. We go the next 3 days, around 5 in Aspen. Telluride's going to be less, 1.3 up here, 8.4. Steamboat Springs, 5.9. We go the next 5 days, and it grows to about 9 inches. This would be good. This is about an inch equivalent of water. We scoot down to Aspen, about 5.5. We go to Telluride, about 2, so Telluride's not going to get a whole lot. You can see that up by the beginning of the Green River, they're going to get a whole lot, almost 6.9 inches. So that's fantastic news. We go the next 10 days, and you can see that increases 10.3. We go down to Rock Springs, 2 inches. We go down to Vail, 7.7. Telluride, not a whole lot, 2.7. Steamboat Springs, almost a foot. So that's good news. And of course, down here in between Lake Mead and Lake Powell, you go down to Sapau, 0.9. We go over to Page, 0.1. Kanab, possibly 1.1. St. George, 0.2. So that's what we got going on there. The Europeans, a little bit different. They're saying Kanab at 3.6, but just to the south, they're calling for almost a foot. So that would be good. Sapau, just to the north of Sapau, 7 inches right along Colorado. So we will see if that comes to pass. That would be fantastic if it did. We are a long way out, and we will see what happens. Let's roll out to the long-range forecasts issued today by NOAA. This is the next 30 days. You can see above chances here, which is just a little bit past the Colorado, and above chances over here, which is foreseen, but the GFS is saying it's going to get a whole lot of rain within the next 15 days or so. So I'm not certain what they got going on compared to that. And then there's above average chances in between. So we will see what ultimately happens. Below chances here, equal chances in the midsection, above for Florida and over here. So we'll see what happens if you're living in Alaska, above here, and the rest of the state equal. And that is what we got going on there. And now we're going to go to the snow amount in the Colorado Rockies and see what's going on there now. As you can see, we're in the upper Colorado, and you can see that we are still below average. However, we're up from the 84% that we were back here when we did on our last video around February 5th. We were right around 84%. So we are up. We are making progress. We were at 91%. We were at 92 a couple days ago, so we've come back down a little bit. But there's more snow coming, so there's good news. It's never too late. You can see we were right around 100 in 2019, and we boosted up. So let's hope this happens. Now, this ain't 2023, where we really did really well last year. We were at 151.53% all the way in April 6th. So let's hope for that end result. That would be great, but we'll take 91. It's better than the low of 2018 when we were only, the highest we got was 71%. So we're already doing better than 2018. So we'll see what happens. Let's go out to the graph. We're going to start out like we always do at the Flaming Gorge next, and we're going there right now. As we roll out to the Flaming Gorge, the current water level 6,026.03 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 20.97 feet below full pool of 6,047. Changes since yesterday. Well, the lake hasn't came up, but hasn't gone down. It is equal. We go the last 7 days, and it's down 0.14 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.30 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is down 0.84 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is down 1.51 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 19.42 feet. Your inflows are currently 1,966. Your outflows are 1,930. We go to your graph. You can see in 2022 the level was 6,117.77. Last year we were looking at 6,006.61. Today we're at 6,026.3. And we are going to skip percentage of capacity because that is not right. It says it's at 12.10%. That can't be correct. Something's off there. We will fix that and get back to it. As we roll out to Blue Mesa, the current water level 7,488.14 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 30.86 feet below full pool of 7,519. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.06 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 0.33 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.62 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is down 1.28 feet over the last 30. Over the last 120 days, the lake is down 1.90 feet. Over the last year, however, the lake is up 40.26 feet. Your inflows are currently 393 and your outflows are 622. We go to your bar graph and you can see in 2022 the level was 7,435. Last year we were looking at 7,447.88 feet, and today we are at 7,488.14 feet. Percentage of capacity is 67.90%, and we are down to Lake Navajo next. As we roll out to Lake Navajo, your current water level is 6,042.27 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 42.73 feet below full pool of 6,085. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.05 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also down 0.21 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.29 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is down 0.69 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is down 2.07 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 24.72 feet. Your inflows are currently 181. Your outflows are 378. And we go to your bar graph, and you can see that in 2022, the level was 6,018.57 feet. Last year, we were at 6,017.55 feet. Today, we're at 6,042.27 feet. Percentage of capacity is currently 63.96%, and we are over to Lake Powell next. As we roll out to Lake Powell, your current water level is 3,563.69 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 136.31 feet below full pool of 3,700. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.11 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also down 0.50 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 1.09 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is down 2.95 feet. And over the last 120 days, the lake is down 3.69 feet. So not bad. 4 feet over the last 120 days in your dry season is pretty typical this time of year. However, the lake is up 41.57 feet, and your inflows are currently 7,358. Your outflows are 11,610. We go to your 3-year bar graph here, and in 2022 the level was 3,529.21 feet. Last year we were at 3,522.12 feet. Of course, today we're at 3,563.69 feet, and percentage of capacity is currently 33.10%. Back to the red we go. We were at yellow for a minute, so we are back to red tonight, and let's go to Lake Mead next. As we roll out to Lake Mead, you can see that the current water level is 1,075.18 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15th, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 144.42 feet below full pool of 1,219.60 feet. Over the last 24 hours, the lake is up 0.14 feet. Over the last 7 days, the lake is up 0.97 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 2.17 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 4.66 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 2.99 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 27.55 feet. Your inflows are currently 11,564. Your outflows are 4,970. And your bar graph for 2022, the level was 1,067.19 feet. In 2023, last year we were looking at 1,047.56 feet. Today we're at 1,075.18 feet. And we go out to percentage of capacity, and it's currently 37.12%. Down to Lake Mohave we go next. As we roll out to Lake Mohave, the current water level is 642.91 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 4.09 feet below full pool of 647. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.05 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 0.30 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 0.84 feet. Over the last 30, the lake is up 1.93 feet. Over the last 120 days, the lake is up 3.97 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 0.59 feet. Your inflows are currently 4,970. Your outflows are 5,287. The 3-year bar graph here is 641.85 in 2022, 642.32 last year, 642.91 today. Percentage of capacity is currently 93.79%. Down to Lake Havasu we go next. As we roll out to Lake Havasu, the current water level is 448.26 feet, and that was Thursday, February 15, 2024 at 6 p.m. The level is 1.74 feet below full pool of 450. Changes since yesterday, the lake is down 0.04 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is up 0.12 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.34 feet. And over the last 30 days, the lake is up 1.50 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is down 0.20 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 0.83 feet. Inflows are currently 6,371. Your outflows are 5,310. Your 3-year bar graph here, 446.49 feet in 2022. Last year, we were at 447.43 feet. Today, we're at 448.26 feet. And we go to your percentage of capacity, and it's currently 92.59%. Hope all is well with everybody. You guys have a blessed day, and we will see you tomorrow with a Lake Oroville update. God bless.